Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special episode for our Tressa's Collectibles channel. This will be a end of the year 2025 podcast episode. So we got the gang here today, and we're just going to chat about our year in terms of Weiss Schwarz, but also just our year in general. Kind of give you guys some updates and reminisce about this crazy year it's been. It's been so long. It feels like when I looked at 2025 and just in review for this year, like BCS 24-25 had regionals in 2025. Like that felt like 2 years ago to me, right?
Yeah, certainly a lot of things happened, especially
So,
since this was the first year that we all attended Worlds outside of our own country, so that was super exciting. But then yeah, running down the end of the season, we also just had obviously Simu participating in a lot of tournaments, and then moving into 2026, we have a lot of big plans as well. So looking forward to talking about all of that.
yeah, so it's just been nice to it's just been nice to look back and like think about everything. So yeah, I think going around, why don't we do quick self introductions, and also as like an icebreaker question, we can share either a highlight or a low light from this past year. So I can start. So I'm Simu, chairman on this channel. For me, highlight probably in terms of Weiss qualifying for Worlds. It's been a few years since I've been able to make it back, so very happy to have qualified at Rosemont earlier this year. Why don't we go to my right? So Randall.
Okay, I'm Randall, aka Shizukats, and then definitely the highlight for me this year was getting to cast Worlds at Japan. That was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that I get to do this for many, many more years in the future. And then my low light, which was also in Japan, was not winning Kana PR Plus at Climax Challenge again. So unfortunately, that was like my main gameplay goal in terms of doing stuff in Japan for Weiss Schwarz while I was there, and unfortunately was not able to do that. Spent a lot of time cooking Oshi, and then insta lost. Oops.
Were you ever able to get those kind of PRs?
We can talk about that later in the video.
Oh, okay.
Because that's because I think one of the questions that we have on the plan has to do with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, and what's up, guys? Mike here on the Tressa's Collectibles channel. Highlight, it's probably just being able to attend Worlds with the gang this year for 24-25. Simu and I both attended as media, and then we also had Randall obviously on the commentator's desk, and that whole trip was just super fun, not only in terms of enjoying the Weiss content, filming the vlogs and interviewing players and just being part of the atmosphere there, but also just having another excuse to go back to Japan and just hang out and spend some quality time together. So that was definitely a highlight of my year. Weiss. The low light was definitely opening Makane. That sucked. So we'll talk more about that later.
Oh my goodness, Makane.
Which I'm not done yet. So.
You're okay. I mean, we can get.
I mean, like he literally just had the gang help him open a case. Like
I have one more case.
Like 2 days ago.
You
right?
still have another one? It's like it's like the never-ending storage of
Stop
cases.
losing.
Like every single time I hear Mike opens a case, it's like I got another one. It's like how long can this go on for? Eventually, you'll end,
but
right?
maybe I'll drag it on for another couple months, or maybe I'll open one tomorrow. Who knows?
Oh my god!
All right, so for this episode, end of the year, I thought it would be kind of nice to do something like a 2025 wrapped discussion series, and like I feel like this whole idea of like year-end wrapped is getting more and more popular every year. I think Spotify was like the first one to do it with like your Spotify wrapped, and then they started doing it for like a bunch of stuff started doing it this year. I think I heard like a really off the wall one, like it was some kind of like they're like, I think some like manga sites were doing wrapped. I think Crunchyroll did like an anime wrapped. Yeah, it's just getting really popular.
Oh, did they?
I think so, yeah. But so I thought it'd be really cool to do a wrap for the team here. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of data for you guys, so I can't provide you numbers. That'd be kind of cool, like how many games you played this year. If I was God, I'd be able to like poop out those numbers, but unfortunately,
We do have data on how many games we played on the channel, and we have. Now we used to manually record the win
I think
losses
that's what he meant.
in relation to first, going second. But we haven't updated that in a while, but it doesn't take too long. I've already compiled.
That would be kind of cool. Maybe it'd be interesting to go back and check those
data this
later.
year on the Tressa's Collectibles gameplay channel.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back and compile those, but I meant for like individually, right? Like how many games you played. But I think to get a semblance of our year wrapped, I'm gonna ask some questions that we can all answer, take turns, and just talk about this past year. All right, so the first question going around the circle is, what new sets did you get into this year? Set or sets, and it could be English or JP. Let's go Randall first.
Start.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think like this year, I feel like I got into more sets than I usually do, because I feel like I don't really get a lot of sets. I usually just like play the same deck over and over and over and just like rotate between them. But this year I actually did pick up a few newer ones. So going chronologically, I think this is chronologically. The first one that I got was Oshi 2. So Simu and I both got Oshi 2 at the start of the year. And then basically we both just got to cooking every single deck that wasn't the really obvious one, which was the Kana Akane deck. So we did a lot of testing with stuff. Like Simu was back on trying the 8 choice builds. I was playing around with Kana level 1 into every not Akane finisher in the set, basically. And so we did a lot of testing on that. I also got the Ave and Mygo upgrades for Bang Dream. So I played around with that a bit. Idolmaster Million Live got an upgrade with the recent premium booster, which was intended for the OG IMAS deck, but it has a lot of really good cards that I've been experimenting with for Million Live context as well. And then probably the two like big outliers, because they were not sets that had like prior support, were Amagami Sister, which I just basically picked up out of nowhere. I was just like testing the deck for a friend who wanted me to merc for him for Climax Challenge, and I ended up just really liking the deck. And what happened was that I won the Climax Challenge, but I faced him in the finals, and our agreement was if I got the PR, he would like pay me for the PR. And then so I faced him in the finals, and then I beat him, so he has to pay me for the PR, and then I used the payment to buy the deck that I used to win the Climax Challenge. But Amagami has been like a ton of fun. It's like a revived Mushoku Tensei is like kind of the way it feels, because like you just have like big standby board, level 1 advantage combo. It feels really good. And then the other one is Mirrorverse, which isn't a new set as of this year because it came out last year, but it was new to me off of a friend like basically like sponsoring me the deck. And I ever since like, because the time that I got the deck, it was around the time that like I stopped playing Slime as much because the restrictions were just kind of piling on too high. And this deck just feels like I have Slime again. It's like triple Miron? Nah. Double Mickey, Goofy, Jack Skellington. And we're basically just back. And we're doing the same thing all over again. I sent a lot of people to Disneyland this year. Annual pass.
Annual pass. That's crazy.
Orange County is just 25 miles away, so.
All right, Mike?
Right. Mike?
As for me, it's funny you mentioned Mirrorverse, because that was one of my favorite decks from last year. I remember when I did my 24 wrap up, I was like, yeah, this deck is really cool. I really like Mirrorverse. But this year, I probably was a lot more inactive than I was in 2024 comparatively, but I did get into a couple of sets that I was really into. The first one is definitely Japanese Makeine. It's basically all that I've been playing in terms of personal testing ever since that set came out. and it's a lot of fun in terms of like exploration of the set's design. In terms of every finisher has a level 2, it's a 2/1 soul beater. When they get reversed, they go to memory, and then when they're in memory, you can cheat out your early play finisher for free. So every finisher has that thing. And then strong level 0, but otherwise pretty subpar for almost everything else. Notably, Machine was also the first set to feature the new level 4 mechanic with the 3/2 Ana, in terms of not losing at level 4, you lose at level 5. So that was something they tried. So that was pretty interesting. So I tested a lot of that. As far as English, relatively speaking, obviously, trust us, we do play basically every set and do some preliminary testing and just deck building and thinking about. But in terms of my personal testing, I tested a lot of English Nikkei. Specifically, I was testing Standby Bunnies in preparation for just really trying to understand the deck and seeing if there was anything there for Worlds. Not that I was participating in Worlds, but I really just wanted to see how the deck ticked, just have a better understanding of it. And if I found some secret sauce, I could maybe try to help some participants out. Spoilers, it is just not really a very tournament fit deck. The lows are just too low in terms of, I feel like half the time when you lose, you just lose to yourself. But Standby Bunnies was definitely the deck that I grinded the most with in terms of just sheer number of reps and deck iterations and even changing the climax lineups in terms of 7-1, 6-2, things like that. So that deck was a ton of fun. I had a lot of fun testing that. Took a lot of my time. But yeah, those were the 2 new sets I got into this year.
All right.
And I mean, you also just started playing the Nikkei game this year, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Oh,
I started playing Nikkei. So at the airport, when Simo and I were going to the airport for Worlds in May, I had 2 new apps downloaded on my phone. One was Nikkei, because everyone told me how good the Nikkei story was. And the other was the Holy Bible, because I just wanted to read the Bible. And then, well, one of those apps are on my phone now. And it's not the Bible.
Is the Nikkei story actually as good as people say it is?
Oh yeah, it is. It's
Wow.
it's totally why I'm still playing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really invested in some of the characters. The storytelling, especially for the anniversary and half anniversary events, are just top-notch writing. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough, honestly.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for me, let's see. So, new sets I got into Weiss. JP, the first set I got was actually Lane 2. That was at the very start of the year. And I also got a few cards for that deck in English as well. And then Oshi 2, as Randall said. Afterwards, Girls Band Cry got their trial deck 2 months after the set.
Because the set was in 2024, right?
Correct. The set was at the end of 2024. They got their trial deck in 2020 in February of this year. So
strange.
Yeah, got some trial deck cards from that. Afterwards, it was Machine. Actually, before Machine was the week before Machine was Nanoha 20th anniversary, which I pulled some boxes for. I'm a pretty big Nanoha player. I've collected every set since. Which set did I get into Nanoha?
Reflection?
Yeah.
Or was it earlier than that?
I think I got into the sets starting from Reflection, and then and I had to buy a bunch of the singles prior to that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nanoha in my brain is bad set, bad set, bad set, bad set, Reflection, Detonation, Premium Booster. That's the timeline for me. It's all these bad sets, they just kind of mix together, and then you get to Reflection, Detonation, it's all right, this is where the good stuff is. That's how I think of Nanoha. Sorry if I offended any Nanoha players, but
is Reflection the one with the Musashi?
No,
yes.
That's
wait. Oh no, that's
Musashi came out in first and second A's. Reprint booster, I think.
That's the combination.
Yeah, it came out in the combination booster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that
you're talking about the set afterwards.
That had good cards, but it wasn't good enough for the series as a whole. Yeah. But yeah, I got Nanoha, got Makane, and then Idolmaster All Stars Premium Booster. That was a lot of fun, and because I have both Idolmaster and Million Life, so got to beef up both decks. Afterwards, I got Blue Archive Animation, which is coming out to English soon, which is kind of cool. And then Key 25th Anniversary Premium Booster, Kinero Mosaic, and that's the most recent set, I believe. Yeah, most recent set.
I really need to get some Key 25 cards. I just didn't remember to keep some for myself. I have some customers at the booth that open stuff and just kind of donate the bulk, and I was like, I don't need any of this. And I realized I have Charlotte, Little Busters, Rewrite. I have half the key sets, so
yeah,
that was oopsie on my part.
Yeah, well, if you need any, just let me know. I have a bunch because I opened.
At the very least, I want all the Charlotte cards because I want to update my Charlotte deck.
Sure. Yeah. If you don't need foils, I definitely have them.
Isn't just a new 1-0 now?
It's basically the 1-0 now.
Oh, I mean the OG stuff.
What was your question? You mean how expensive it is, or what?
Yeah. Have you seen how expensive?
It's always been expensive.
But
even more.
The 3-2 now has always been expensive. Yeah. But now it is 1.5 times as expensive as it was before, and other cards that weren't expensive are now expensive. So Charlotte is ridiculously expensive. I think Yute, every time we check Yute price for now, it just keeps going up. So I think the last I checked it was 8,000 yen each.
Oh, they keep releasing new support for this one build and
8,000.
Yep. What?
And not reprinting said key cards from build, but keep giving support for it. So I mean.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the 3-2 Yusamisa changers, they are typically floating around 1,000 to 1,200 yen, and then they're 1,800 to 2,500 yen now each. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's always the ebb and flow of Charlotte. Whenever they release a key set, they give the deck one or two toys to play with, and then everything spikes. I feel like this happens almost every time.
Yeah.
One of these days I should just sell everything. Just make a big profit. All right. And then English side, let's see. I didn't buy that much, but I think I got into Maigo Ave in English. I collect Bane Dream in English specifically compared to JP because it's always competitive and it's nice to have a competitive English deck if I keep up with Bane Dream. And then I think that's the only set I got.
You've had Bane Dream since the very first set, right? I feel back in the JK days, you picked up a playset almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
since you've had it in English since 2018, you might as well, right?
Right.
Crazy
yeah.
how long it's been.
So it's pretty nice. Yeah. Second question: what was your biggest purchase and or pull? So you can give an answer for both, or if you didn't pull anything big, just what's your biggest purchase, vice versa.
Oh, I know Simu's answer.
Do you actually know my answer?
Wait.
I think I know your answer. Wait, was that this year? No, that was last year, wasn't it?
Wait, was that last year? Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Let's go Mike first this time. What's your biggest purchase?
Sure.
I guess this would be
of Japanese Macking.
Single card specifically. It would be.
Oh, biggest purchase for single card.
For a single,
or pull. Purchase or pull.
Yeah, because you can't pull a case. I mean. That would be interesting.
Well, I kind of think of it as one big purchase to try to pull an AGR, and I have not pulled said AGR. Outside of that, honestly, this year I didn't really buy that much stuff, to be honest. Last year I spent a bunch of money on just random singles I liked and just filling up my binder. This year I feel like I took a big step back. I still did collect a bunch of stuff. I finished my Idolmaster Cinderella Girls collection. I think it's just random trinkets here and there. And for example, this past trip, I picked up a Union Arena Kotegawa sign because I like Kotegawa.
It's not Mikon. What is this?
The Mikon art is not super good. You know whose Mikon I support. It's not official.
Sure.
It's not official Mikon.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Yeah, if it's not Japanese Makine, honestly, I didn't even think about the highest purchase I pulled for a single card because I just didn't buy that many expensive cards this year, I think. So yeah, I'll just chalk that up to one purchase of Makine.
Okay. Sounds good. Randall?
Kana PR Plus.
Oh. What's the
I
story?
hate it here.
What's the story behind that?
I lost trying to get it multiple times, and then I bought it. That's the story. That's just the whole story.
Okay. Oh, what about?
I was just like, doing my best to win Climax Challenge. Did not win Climax Challenge. Went to Japan. Tried my best to win Climax Challenge. Did not win. The plan was to see if I could sell because I got third place at the BCS Pasadena last year, which got me the top four, the Oshinoko card. So the plan was to see like if I could sell that maybe to fund the Kana PR, and I ended up just not selling it, and I just bought the Kana PR. So yeah.
Did you pull anything good this year?
Did I open anything this year?
Did you open anything this year? I don't know.
Well, I definitely, out of the 5 sets that I listed earlier, I definitely bought singles for Oshi, bought singles for BD, bought singles for Million Live, got gifted Mirrorverse, and bought the Amagami deck outright. And I'm trying to think if I opened anything. I don't think I opened anything.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I actually don't know, so it was a genuine question from my side.
I mean, I just don't open stuff.
Right. All right. Wait. So before I share
yourself?
my answers, what do you guys think was my biggest purchase this year?
Well, I was gonna say the Eurocamp cereal, but that was last year.
That was last year. Yeah. So I don't think you guys know what my answer is for this year.
That's what I thought I was thinking.
All right. Let me bring the show. Let me get the show and tell
I mean,
real quick.
I think for me, if I had to guess, it would probably be like a whole bunch of Kinero mosaic foils that he bought because he wanted to make the deck really nice and shiny.
No, that wouldn't be expensive though. I don't know. Let's see what Simu has.
Yeah. All right. So my answer is somewhat similar to Mike in that I spent a lot last year, and I pulled a lot of really crazy stuff last year, especially with like the Japan trips and stuff like that. So this year I definitely dialed it down a lot. I didn't spend as much on Weiss, which is good. My wallet definitely needed a break. So I think for my biggest pull this year, though, I think this one is it. It was the Hayate Secret from Nanoha Premium. I pulled this one out of, I think, 5. Actually, how many boxes did I pull? Maybe 8. Actually, it's premium booster, so I pulled enough to get like playable. So I think I pulled this out of like 8 boxes. Very nice looking card.
Is this the card that we thought would have a changer and ended up not having a changer?
Oh
no, that's not it. That's not it.
No.
It has a changer, but it doesn't proc its on playability when it's brought out via change. I think that's what it was.
Something like that? Yeah. Wait. No, I think the changer was for the old set double rare. This is the new finisher.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I just remember there was some really silly thing with a changer.
Yeah, I think it was like a changer to the old 3-2 twin cannons Hayate, and then that one just doesn't support being changed. All right, and then my biggest purchase this year, I'm actually very happy about this one because it's a card I've been wanting for a long time, and basically I just could never find it in stock until very recently, and it appeared on Yutei Damage. And this is the first time I bought a card on Unity Damage where there was actually card damage that I could tell. But it doesn't matter because I'm never going to find this card ever again. And this is the Cocoa Climax Swap for Gochisa.
This is from Re-Edit?
This is from Bloom. All right, so
from Bloom.
Yeah, so the reason why this card is, to me, is like such a hard card to purchase is because this is the gold signature, which means this was the first print. So the story with Bloom is that it had a first print run with gold signatures, and then it got a second print run with pink signatures. Now, usually when you get a second run, the prices drop because people don't want like the second reprint signatures. But for some reason, across the board for Bloom, the pink SIGs are worth twice as much. So it's like basically the cards that are more available are also twice as more expensive than the originals. And the originals are just like they just maintain their like original price. I don't understand. Like sometimes they're in stock and they're just like half the price. So like people just really like the pink SIGs for these. And so I could never find a climax swap that was affordable and available. It was like basically just never happening. I've been looking for this card for like 2 years. And it finally showed up in the damage section one day, and yeah, so really happy with this one. I love Koi art. It's just like it's so good.
I think we all do. Koi's art is literally just like, if I cared enough about Gochiusa, like I think the Koi art would have been enough reason for me to like buy back into, because I did have the set before, but
Back in the Kokochino days.
yeah.
You got into the set when it was mostly anime art, and now it's mostly Koi art. So definitely
Yeah.
chose the wrong time.
Oops. My bad.
Anyways,
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting juxtaposition in terms of reprints, because Japanese started doing, like you said, the different colored reprints for sets recently, just to kind of like bolster the collectability value. And we always think about reprints, at least in the West, of like, oh, they're like not as desired, they're not the first prints. But in Japanese, what I suspect is the reason why they're so much more expensive is because the way they might think about it is it's a different colored signature, so it's like a different thing. But then the print run is significantly less than the original print run. So the people that actually want these, one, they're not going to open cases for them because they probably already have all the cards for that set anyways. And two, there's a lower print run. So the shops actually opening cases, they're like, all right, well, you know what? If you want these, you have to buy them as singles. So therefore, shouldn't they be worth more, right? Because no one's going for like the double rares or like rares and below. Most people have that already. There's plenty on the market. So that's how I see it. But it is interesting because it's kind of like just the complete opposite of how Westerners perceive like reprints and stuff.
yeah, I actually learned about this recently when I was watching. I was watching a Deep Pocket Monster video about collecting Pokemon, and he actually in the video he actually discusses how first edition prints are way cheaper in Japan than unlimited, because the unlimited print runs are just like so rare. So like the unlimited cards are like potentially like 10 times the price, which was like ridiculous. Yeah. So wow, a little bit of a I didn't realize that it actually applied to basically most of their trading card games. I thought it was maybe a Pokemon specific thing. That makes sense though.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times in Weiss for different reasons too. So for example, for this case, you have like the color difference, and that's why the reprints are worth more. But then you have other reprints. Some notable ones would be like Bunny Girl 1, Sneaker Bunko 1, Sword Art Light Novel 10th Anniversary. These are all sets that got their reprint post the 2021, I think, the printer improvement. Basically, I think in my head, I remember that basically everything after Hololive Japanese set 1, everything got better print quality, but everything before that just had like some natural whitening. So shops actually pay extreme premiums for all the reprints for these popular sets. For example, if we see like buyback sheets for like Bunny Girl My Secret from set 1, the reprint is exponentially more than the original, just because they're actually mint, whereas the original prints, they were always had some sort of like light play damage and things like that. So another reason why, like at least in Wise, for Japanese Wise, the reprints for some sets are worth significantly more, even if they are actually still the same gold signature.
Next question. If you can remember, what was your most memorable game of Weiss Schwarz this year? And I can start just because I have one in mind already. So
Sure.
This was really early on this year. This was actually BCS 24-25. And I believe this was the first event of the year, which was in Rosemont. And I was playing Macross Delta, and this was in Swiss. I was playing against Slime. And I had a really bad game. I was really behind, and I got hit to level 3 first. And my opponent was still like 2-2 or 2-3, something like that. And they were all set up. They had like just resolved Triple Muron. They had like searched out like all their finishers, full grip, like 10, 11 stock or something like that. I was like, oh, I'm so dead the next turn because I was already like 3-1 or something. But this was hand rip Macross, so I was like, okay, maybe if we just hand rip them a few times, it'll be pretty good. And so I played 3 hand rips, and in those 3 hand rips, I hit 1 Benimaru and his only Shion. And then I healed down to 3-0. And then he basically just could not do anything the next turn. Because I think he only had 1 Benimaru like in rotation. And then like he lost his only Shion. And so I think on his turn, all he did was like single Benimaru. And then like he couldn't kill me. And on the crackback, I was able to kill him. And like, it was the first time I experienced a game where like I had certain defeat like in line, and then just through the wizardry of like card effect shenanigans, I was able to like win a game that I just had no right winning. And it was really, really funny. So I really like the Macross hand rip deck, and it's like that was like one of the most memorable experiences I've had with that deck.
You say you don't have a right in winning, but you put those hand rips in your deck. So.
That's true. That's true. I love hand rip.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
Exactly. All right, Randall, do you have one?
Okay, off the top of my head, I think my most memorable game of the year was one that I had in Japan at a locals. So this particular locals, so this is round 4, and I'm currently X3, so I'm dying. I'm doing a lot of dying. But my round 4 was a match against a player that I had already played a game against in Japan previously on the trip, which, and Sima will know who this is, it was Daikoku. So our first game that we had was in the Oshi Mini Title Cup, so that's like the day 2 Mini Title Cup, where it's like all you gotta do is win 2 times, and then you get the silver print PR. And then I beat him in round 1 of the Oshi Mini Title Cup. And then in that locals tournament, which is the memorable game, I was still playing Oshi. I was playing pretty much the same deck that I was playing in the Mini Title Cup. And then he was on Mirrorverse. And so the entire game is going absolutely perfect for him. He's like canceling at 0 and 1 and like getting double Mickey combo into me staying at 0 and then not being able to kill his Mickeys into triple Mickey combo, like level 1 combo. And then he goes to 2 and gets double Mickey level 3 combo into heal down to 2-0 into keep canceling into me not canceling. And so I'm just like way, 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 way behind. And he just keeps canceling. And then with Kana level 3, at this point he's still like low 2, and like Kana finisher is like typically not very good when the opponent is far away from death, because like they have to cancel in order for you to get your burns. And what ended up happening was one of my Kanas mills 3 climaxes off the bottom and sticks 6, and then suddenly I'm back, and it was literally like I have to play to every out possible kind of game, and then after he flips 3 climaxes off the bottom and eats 6, he's still only at like 3-2 because he canceled the rest. And I'm just like, all right, well, I have done what I can. What do I do now? And then I forget exactly what the line was for him, but I had the 3-2 Ruby assist behind my Kanas, so they were like actually like 12k and like pretty beefy. And so he couldn't clear all of them after I had just like cleared his board away. And God, what was it that happened? He knew that he couldn't kill me, so he used the Goofy. Goofy gives an effect to Mickey where like you can pay 1, ditch 1 on attack to look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck and put up to 1 of them on the bottom. And he saw 2 climaxes on his last attack, and so he knows like he can't kill me. And so what he did was, or no, it wasn't 2 climaxes. It was what was it? Oh, I had 2 cards left in deck, or something like that. And so what he did was he left the climax on top so that I had less draws to get a climax to try to kill him. And then I did not get a climax, and then I triple triggered for like perfect lethal, and then he died. And this was what was really funny about this, and what made it so memorable was like it was the last game to finish of the round as the shop was closing. So everybody's like picking up their stuff, getting ready to leave, and they're all just like crowded around us. And they're just watching Daikoku and I just have like the funniest time, like just having like the best time, just like throwing hands at each other at X3 in the final round. Like we're just like our game does not matter, and we're just like having a blast at this game. And then so yeah, Daikoku definitely one of the most personality players that I remember from our time in Japan. And we went to dinner with him after and we chatted, and so that was cool. So it was just like a memorable like overall experience, not even like just the game, but being able to just like uh interact with one of the Japanese players, especially when like we didn't have like this level of interaction with a lot of the other players while we were in Japan. And so it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's
shout out to
super awesome.
Daikoku.
That reminds me of
sick guy.
reminds me of when Randall and I when we went to the Roselia concert in Japan in 2018, and then we played locals there, and then I think after locals I played
Oh.
Exodia Little Busters
Yeah.
against like one of the Japanese locals, and that was like actually the most hype I've ever. Like everyone was like popping off.
Yeah, literally like these three dudes, like they're just like chill normal dudes. And then like we just like asked to play like a random game, and then Mike pulls out the Exodia, and then like the dude playing has like his two friends behind him, and they're just like watching the game, and the dude's just like picking up cards and like reading cards. And then when Mike does the combo, like the dude and his two friends, they're just like all like popping off at the same time.
Yeah. Then again, it's like it's really awesome just to be able to, as long as we have like some sort of like basic Japanese understanding, just playing at Japanese locals and hanging out and talk with people. That's always such a good time. My most memorable game, I have two, and they're kind of just different veins of memorable. The first one has to do with Simu because it's once again going to feature the Macross hand rip deck. It's actually a Trustless game. When we were doing the Trustless block, and Simu was playing his initial version of Macross hand rip, and I was just playing Link Macross, where the Link deck, you need to have two particular events in memory for all your climaxes to link together so that you can do your multi-climax combos. I wasn't set up yet. I only had like one event in memory, and I was kind of just being chilling in my next turn. So then Simu goes double hand rip, and then we just lay all the cards on the table, and then Simu just like rolls 2 die, and then he hand rips my second event, which just goes to memory, and then I don't even comprehend or compute
None
what
of us
happened.
did.
And then I think Randall was like, "Wait, it goes to memory."
No. So what happened was you had one in memory,
Yeah.
and then when he hand ripped, he flipped the card, and then your memory was in the top right of the table.
I think
But
you
then
put it to
you
like
put
the
the
top
card
left.
on the top left, and then I'm like, oh no, it goes to memory. And then you're like, wait, it goes to memory. And then all three of us were just like, oh my god.
And then the second card was my climax, so I couldn't even.
Yeah.
So that was you can't script that. I'm so glad we had that game on the channel being recorded. My other memorable game is not actually one that exactly is like super exciting, but it's actually one I lost. I tend to remember my losses more than my wins because you tend to like reflect on that. So it's just like a random locals, I think last month, when I was playing Makene, and I played against Chris, and he was on just typical Gakumas, and I was in a significant lead. I'm playing like the lemon top end where you can just have the 2/1 2 soul beaters, and if you want, you can early play the 3/2s. And he's at like 3/3/3/4, and I'm at 2/2 or something like that. And I have this line where I can go for triple lemon at level 2 and triple mocha 3 to try to kill him. What he did was he healed down to like 3-0, and then like triple, and then he climax comboed, and then I was still like just at 2. And then I was like, okay, I think I should just go for the lemons. Not only do I heal, but also I'm just going to try to mocha him and try to stick like a couple of damage, or a couple of things in. Turns out I lost. The lemons didn't stick any of the damage. Mochas were fake, and then all my lemons died, and I just started for resources because like I wasn't clocking because I just wanted to win the damage game. I triple mocha, so I just killed all my hand, and then my lemons died, so I couldn't do anything. that game was really memorable for me because initially I was like, there was nothing I could have done. I feel like I went for the best lines, and I felt like that I had just chalked up to just the the luck of the draw in terms of just like his deck state. But I think reflecting on it more, I realized I could have gone for different lines. Namely, I could have just like I have another early play healer that isn't like the finisher 11. I could have just gone for that, just gone for the compression, triple crash. And then once I actually hit level 3, because I don't think he has a very high chance of killing me from like straight 2 with his finishers. Once I hit level 3, then I can actually go for like legit triple lemon plus the 3/2 event that lets all my lemons burn 1 on attack. So that game kind of initially I thought that okay, Machina is not very good. No, I went for like the ideal lines, and I still couldn't really just kill someone from level 3. I thought this deck had something, but then I was like pretty down on it for a while. And then the more I thought about the game, the more I realized it's like I had different lines available. I just didn't think about them at the time. So that kind of like reaffirmed that like one, I think sometimes the most obvious line is not the most. It's like sometimes there are other options available, and it also just kind of reinvigorated me in terms of just like there's still more to learn about like how to play Weiss and just judging every unique game state as is. And I thought I knew everything there was to know about that deck and lines, and then I realized if I change my deck a little bit more, I could go for like these different lines, and I don't have to go all in at level 2, things like that. So that game was pretty memorable for me, and I'm glad I had that experience because I won locals with Machina yesterday, so that was fun. And I definitely took my losses into account, and that was part of the reason why I got there.
Nice, good story. Yeah, nice moral too. Always more to learn, even after playing this game for a decade. Gotta always test your assumptions. So for the next section, I thought it would be kind of cool to do a sort of like mini
did
awards.
You say your most memorable game?
Me?
Simu did say, yeah.
Oh,
Simu said his hand rip.
It was the hand rip.
Oh, the hand rip game. Right. Yeah.
The hand rips are just really memorable. Yeah. So for the next section, I wanted to do a bit of like a mini awards. I don't think anybody does Weiss Schwarz awards, but that would be kind of cool. Who knows? Maybe in the future.
Sure.
And so we could just kind of talk a little bit about the 3 categories I have. So it's a very, very small section. But the first category is going to be, what do you think is the strongest set and or deck of 2025? You can give the answer for English, JP, or both.
All right, should I go first?
Yeah, go for it. If you have one
I
in
think
mind.
the strongest set of 2025 was definitely Hosono Sora. That deck is still like top 3 in Japan. For those of you who don't know, because if you're English players, you don't know. So Hosono Sora, Love Live Hosono Sora is this standby deck where you have some really, really, really just like very obviously pushed profiles for standby, and one of these might appear in a question coming up. But so imagine you have a 3/2 that does not heal when it's played from hand, and instead it heals when it's played from standby. So if you're at level 2, you standby out this level 3 and you heal 1, and then if you trigger a standby, you bring out another one, you heal 1 again, and then if your opponent doesn't kill them, then you can combo again next turn. But if they do kill them, then you can re-standby them out and keep healing next turn. Now, the issue with them killing it is obviously like, if they kill the card and you standby it out, then you can't actually attack with it on the next turn. But what if I told you you could? So they have this 1/1 that says when you play any standby, you can pay 1 to stand a character with Megumi in the name. By the way, the 3/2 has Megumi in the name, and the 2/2, and the 1/1. And then you also get to top check 2 and rearrange to make sure you're not triggering standby at first attack, because, standby hates triggering standby first attack. And then also the 1/1 is a global 1k on your turn, and also it has a climax combo with the other standby in the deck that says at the start of the encore step, you can sack the climax to top check 6 and add a character to your hand from among them. Send the rest to waiting room. And so, like, this deck is just, like, literally, like, you read the cards and you're like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. Wow, this seems really, really, really stupid. And yes, it is really, really, really stupid. So my candidate for the strongest set of 2025 is going to be Hosono Sora with this really just absolutely silly package of cards. Like literally, the when you're at level 2, you're literally just like, please, I pray the Hosono Sora player does not draw any standby. Because if they get the wrong standby, if they get the 1/1 standby, they get to bring out the 3/2, stand it, attack with it, heal 1, and then like top check 6. And then if they get the level 3 standby, they are doing all that, but they're also burning you for 3. And it's just like, man, that deck is so dumb.
Still remember the first time I played against it. I was fashionably late to getting exposed to it, but I had no idea what it did. I played against Andy at our locals, and then I was just reading the cards, and he was describing to me what it did, and he still battled the 1/1. I was like, I read it. I read that card like 3 times.
Yeah,
and then he still battled the 3/2, and I was like, the heal line has like a standby trigger on it. I was like,
yeah.
So yeah, that deck is really good. My strongest set of 2025 non-animation, I'm going to focus mostly on the English side because that's what I'm more familiar with. To me, it was a debate between Bunny Girl and Mygo, but I'm going to go with Mygo as my pick for the strongest set of 2025. I think a lot of the set's generics are just very heinous. The early play it's the most free I've ever seen any early play. Doesn't have a soul trigger, which is a plus for most builds. The level 0 line is just crazy. Obviously, Bane Dream has a lot of old stuff. And for English, Bane Dream in particular, you also have access to Stocksoft Fumio, which Japanese never had, putting the English deck on another level. And also, our personal fan favorite here at Tressa's, Simu's build, the Anon Tomori top end, I think, is just such a cool build. So I super like this deck. But Bunny Girl definitely was also a hot contender, especially in the Worlds meta. But I'm going to go with Bane Dream, Mygo, Avimushka for my pick of the strongest set of 2025.
All right. So yeah, I guess I have the unique position of kind of going after them to either like confirm what they said or nominate a different deck. So I think for the JP side, for me, it was a toss-up between Hosono Sora and Gakuen Idolmaster. So Gakuen Idolmaster is kind of like the new kid on the block. So Hosono Sora has a ban in JP. It's a choose one of 4. It's a pretty strict ban, and it basically all targets the standby deck. So currently, it's a lot weaker than it was.
Well, it's still top 3 by the way.
It's still top 3, but it is significantly weaker than it was before. Yeah. And so Gakuen Idolmaster currently has no hits, and so it's definitely running rampant. And it's a very strong deck. It's a lot of memory compression. I think like memory compression to an extent that we've not seen in Weiss Schwarz to this point. I think like before
since set 1 slime. Because set 1 slime. Okay, here's the thing. Gakuen Idolmaster is like set 1 slime if it had a real finisher. And not only is Gakuen Idolmaster's finisher real, it's also real free. It's so free. Like burn 1, Icy Tail like 6, and it's all free.
Yeah, so Gakuen Idolmaster can get pretty close to like basically 8+ memory for almost no investment, potentially even more, and then it benefits a lot from that kind of compression. At the end of the day, though, I think I will go with Hosono Sora, specifically because Gakuen Idolmaster has a pretty glaring weakness, which is that the level 1 combo requires on reverses. And so currently in the JP meta, basically every single set that has ways to deny on reverses is playing ways to deny it, and that is kind of able to keep that deck in check to an extent. Whereas Hosono Sora basically had no counterplay. Like, I can't imagine how you could stop that deck from doing what it wanted to do. You basically just had to ram damage down its throat and just hope it stuck. And, like, it's, pretty miserable to play. So, definitely Hosono Sora, one of the strongest decks that we've seen in Weiss Schwarz for a while. And who knows, maybe it will still get hit on the next ban list. It's really hard to say.
I definitely think Megumi is going to 2 on this next ban list.
That seems like
100%.
Yeah.
I think people need to play a 12-win mommy. All these
Would
standby
love
decks are.
Oh, okay.
Just bounce them back to hand. They don't heal from hand. You know what I'm
True,
saying?
true.
Okay, you say that, but they have a level 0 that you can sack it to play the level 3, and then the level 3 heals when played off of the 0. So,
This is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really speaking of Gakumas, the deck that I get really reminded of it is in its era unbanned Saikano in terms of just a pure memory compression and how you get to a certain point and then you're like, oh, I can't kill you anymore. You have like infinity memory. But yeah, that finisher is crazy. And then you just like, oh, brainstorm. Oh, here's a memory. And
yeah, it's
do
literally
whatever.
like,
here's a memory.
Did you hit a brainstorm? Here, have a free memory.
What?
They also have the Bunny Girl Ricky, word for word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Good deck. Good
Very
cards.
good deck. All right, on the English side, I agree that both Bunny Girl in the World's meta and Mygo in the current meta are very strong decks. But actually, my pick for the strongest deck in the year 2025 is actually going to be Seven Deadly Sins, which was the World's winning deck of 24-25, and prior to its hit was pretty much just run away the best deck in the game. And I would argue that if it did not get hit in this current meta, would probably still be the best deck, because that deck just got to do anything it wanted to do. It was just like really strong at all points in the game, and the finisher line is just extremely powerful. Like you can just go for triple Hendrickson with any kind of like decompression tool on top of it, and your opponent had a chance of dying at like any point at level 2 or higher. And so definitely really, really, really strong. And I would argue that Mygo is just like a worse version, or like the Dolores deck is a worse version of this SDS deck, because Dolores is a lot more random in terms of how much damage output it can do, whereas Hendrickson is a very consistent burn 4, swing for 3, burn 4, swing for 3. So yeah, very strong. Good thing it got banned.
It had its time. It had 2 years of time. So
Yeah.
I think it was well justified.
For sure. And soon we'll be getting another English original, so we'll see how strong that one is. So far, every English original has had...
The past couple have been pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Ruby,
It's been very
with
strong.
Ruby Premium, and then Seven Deadly Sins. So yeah, it's been a while since we've had our last English original, so...
well, you say last few, but like Seven Deadly Sins was like almost 4 years ago at this point, wasn't it?
It's like 3 years ago.
That was
for the first
almost
set.
almost, isn't it? Almost 4. Did
We
it
just
come
haven't
out?
had 2 releases per year like we've usually had, so our past few have had a lot of time now to shine. Yeah.
No, but like, wasn't it? It was played at 2023 Worlds, or like 2022, 2023 Worlds.
Set 2 was introduced in time for the 2023 Worlds.
Yeah,
And it
so
got featured
So
in
that would have been
2024 Worlds.
almost 4 years ago at this point, right?
No,
No,
two
that's
was
3.
like-
That's 3.
it's
That's
3.
3.
It's
No, math
3
is hard.
years. Yeah,
No,
because
no. I'm bad.
it was like
Don't ignore me.
November 2022. Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Still, that's been a while ago at this
I
point.
know it's been a hot
Hasn't
minute. Yeah,
had
for
enough
sure.
time.
Next category is the strongest card of 2025, and I guess to make it more specific, the strongest card printed in 2025, either for JP or
I am in
English.
shambles. I am in shambles.
Oh, you are? I'm so sorry. I mean, I would like to showcase a newer card, right? Like, I don't
Sure.
know. It would. Okay.
Well, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first because I'll just say what I had thought of.
Yeah.
And this is again for English. But I was gonna say actually 3-2 Eins as
Oh.
the card
Sorcerer
that
King.
survived a ban list and is still just running rampant. Is the whole archetype of one Neo standard. Like you build this entire deck for this one card, and because this deck exists, other decks have to play around and consider that this deck exists. I think the warping of just needing to prep for Eins is enough alone, but then obviously as we just saw in BCS Pasadena, it can definitely still pull out significant results even post ban. So that was my pick for 2025. I hadn't thought about an actual card that came out in 2025. Get back to me on that. I'll think about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's still a valid entry. You know, I definitely pulled the twist on you guys a little late. So if you guys, if you
Hey,
guys
I'm
didn't
gonna
think
pull
about it,
the. If you say seven deadly sins, I'll
you know what?
I'll
Fair.
go
You know
with,
what? You got me there.
Azeric,
You got me there. All
Ainz,
right. Sorcerer
Bone
King
Daddy.
Ainz. It's like it was printed in 2025 with how unhit it is in English,
It's
right?
so crazy because this deck came out in 2023, and then 2023 BCS it made like no waves. And then like people just started slowly getting better at the deck and refining builds, and then like the best pilots on it just started winning consistently. So that's super cool to see.
I think also people are playing it more now to make a point.
Oh, certainly. The champions of this deck are very they believe in the deck for sure, and they want the results to prove it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll go next.
Yep.
So going back to Hosno Sora real quick, that Megami
one
1/1 is a really dumb card. Why is that a global 1K and a climax combo and stands your standby target? But there is one other card this year that I don't think I have been this mad about a card in a long time.
Oh man.
What set
And
is it
that
from?
Okay.
It's from Shiny Mass.
Okay, it's not mine then. I have a card that I'm infuriatingly mad about.
Oh, we should all talk about
And-
our most infuriating cards. I have one immediately.
I mean,
Oh.
this is literally mine.
Okay,
This is
go for it,
literally
go
gonna
for
be
it.
Let's
mine.
go. Talk about it.
Dude, the Tanka Brainstorm. Who designed that card? Like, premium boosters are supposed to be for like copy pasta a card from another set into this set, and then amongst the premium booster philosophy, someone at Bushiro decided it would be a cool idea to print a top check 3 Brainstorm that has a choice combo that gives honor verse salvage, which is already on a choice that already combos with a level 1 that has on climax placement salvage. Like what are we doing here? Like, you guys think like I had a poll earlier like 2 weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago, about like which do you think is more obscene, the Elizabeth Brainstorm or the Tanka Brainstorm? And like I included like the 1/0 there as context, obviously. And I think like one guy in the comments, he said like, yeah, I think it's the 1/0 that really brings the Tanka Brainstorm over the top. Like if it was just the Tanka Brainstorm with just that was the only card that had the combo, I think it would probably go to Elizabeth, which I can agree with. But the reality is that the 1/0 exists, and so like you're just getting +4s out of like nowhere every single turn, playing this Brainstorm, and then using the Brainstorm to get back into your climax, and going through the deck and like fixing all the problems that the deck had before. And it's just like, it's definitely one of my contenders for like top 3 decks in JP right now. And it's just like, man, that
It's kind of
card-
like shades of Himeno Brainstorm from Chainsaw Man, except if you also had a level 1 in front that also climaxed off the same climax, and also if Himeno was plussing instead of spammable.
yeah, this card is just, man, like,
But it wouldn't be the card you're angriest with if you own the set. So
okay, but I think if I own Shiny Mask, because like out of the Shiny Mask branches, I don't really care about Shiny Mask that much. But I feel like if I own the set, I would still be like having
Why
to,
is this a thing?
like no, it's one of those cards where like you explain it to your opponent and then you apologize after you explain what the card does. It's like it is like, what are we doing here, man? Like, okay, so
right,
that's my mini rant.
Wait, Mike, what is your? Do you have an infuriating card from this year? You said.
oh, for sure.
Oh, which one? Which one?
Hosno Sora. You
The-
want to take a guess?
The one.
No.
Oh, the 3/2.
No.
What?
Oh,
card
the
infuriates-
level 0, right?
Foolish Burial. You know what else it does?
Oh, dude.
cancel, bounce back to hand.
Dude, I
gonna
played
be-
against Andy, and then he turned one Foolish Burial. He burial the 1/1, stood by it out, and then and then he canceled, and then he foolished again, and then stand by it again. And I was like, okay, dude. Yeah, I just got outskilled.
I'm gonna be
right there.
completely real. That the deck has been so relevant without needing that card for so long. I forgot that card exists.
I am on a crusade to spread the hate campaign on bounce back that has relevant on play effects. They need kill that archetype, please, Bushiro. Oh, Nick, Shimas 2026 resolution. Please stop printing bounce back on relevant effects. That's okay. That's the end of my rant.
All right. So you guys have shared your strongest cards of 2025. And from my perspective, honestly, I think you guys are still sharing very tame effects, because you guys are sharing effects that, even though in combination is like really, really strong and really broken, like there are effects that we've seen prior to 2025, and they're just like put together in such a way that it's really strong. I am going to share a brand new effect that they printed this year, and I hope I will never see it ever again. And it's from Aogiri High School. Do you guys want to guess what card this is?
Brainstorm.
Yeah, this
the
brainstorm
where
is illegal.
Wait, it's if you hit more than 2, you can like discard 1 refresh or something.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is
That card's. Let's keep it PG. That card is silly. It's a silly goose card.
It's so illegal. And here, I'm going to get on my little soapbox and explain why. So for
please.
me, Weiss Schwarz is a really great game about risk management. And because of how much RNG you have throughout the course of the game, you're constantly interfacing with this idea of risk and reward. If you brainstorm is a perfect example of how risk and reward pays out in Weiss Schwarz, because you want to hit on your brainstorm to get the effect, but you don't want to hit too much, because if you hit too much, then all of a sudden you've over-indexed in the other direction, and now you have to manage the fact that you're out for climaxes, and that kind of dynamic is what makes brainstorms fun and rewarding to play around, because you never know what's going to happen when you activate brainstorm, and depending on the outcome, then you have to change your play. This Rieru brainstorm, because when you reveal 2 or more off the brainstorm, you can just discard a card to refresh your deck, takes that risk out of the brainstorm, because now if you don't hit, you're compressed, and if you hit more than 2, you can discard a card and you're compressed again. So there's basically no wrong choice when it comes to this brainstorm. You can just mindlessly activate this brainstorm, and no matter what the outcome is, you will be rewarded. There is no more risk. There is no more, oh, I hit 4, now I have to mill out. How do I do that? Wow, it's a fun puzzle. Maybe like it's cool dynamic. I saw, who did I play that was playing this? I think it was,
well, there's only like 3
it was
Aogiri
Chris.
players.
It was Chris, I'm pretty sure. Where he got somewhat compressed on his first, like in his second deck rotation, and then basically every single turn, his first play was brainstorm hit 2 refresh after triple canceling. It was like, I just like, I was so aghast, because he like had, and this was one of those things where, to Randall's point, every time it happened, he would just apologize. He would like hit 2, he'd be like, Simu, I'm so sorry. And he just discards. And then like the next turn, he's just like, well, I guess I brainstorm here. Hit 2, I'm so sorry. And like, it's just like, and I'm just like, yeah, wow, this is crazy. Like, there's just no more thought. You just brainstorm. There is no punish. You could do nothing wrong. And I just told him, like, I just feel like this is not fun for either player. It just takes the fun out of the game, because no more, you don't have a decision to make. You just brainstorm and you get rewarded.
No,
it's
not brainstorming anymore. It's brain offing.
The brain has completely
the age-old adage: turn card sideways. But you turn this card sideways to see what happens.
Yeah, and I just feel like it is in such a way that it takes the fun out of the game, because I think part of what makes Weiss fun is kind of reacting to different game states and the RNG and like puzzle solving in that way. And I think this is kind of like a cheat where it just solves the puzzle for you, and it in such a way that I don't think it makes the deck very fun. And it also just makes it so that you should never play any other brainstorm or do anything else but brainstorm every turn. Yeah, he was telling me like he was trying to build a bunch of. Oh no, was it Chris? I think it was Chris, but like, oh, I can't remember now. But like
wait, does Chris even have?
Was it Chris? It was either Chris or no? I don't think it was Presley.
What was
like
Danny?
Danny,
No, it wasn't Danny.
or Raph or
No,
KU.
It was somebody who bought it from Raph. Who bought it from Raph?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. Anyways, but
Anyways.
basically, they were saying how like they were trying to build a bunch of cool Aogiri decks after getting the playset, and Aogiri has like multiple brainstorms, and it just got to the point where like there was just no other brainstorm to run besides this one, because this was just the best brainstorm for every of the decks, and it was just like they weren't having fun building with the set either. So
maybe Victor. I know Victor has Aogiri.
I don't think it was Victor, because Victor wouldn't have apologized to me.
True, Victor would have been like, hold it.
Yeah, it sounded very
hold that.
plausible that Chris was the player, because I feel like that's something that Chris would do.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Chris. Anyways,
Anyways,
yeah, that card is illegal. I hope they never print that brainstorm ever again. I hope that is like, oh my gosh, I'm like traumatized by it. Anyways,
agreed.
Next category. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm gonna explain a little bit, and it'll give you some time to think. So this is going to be your favorite player of 2025. And the reason why I'm using this kind of terminology is because I feel like Weiss Schwarz players, especially like competitive players, they don't get a lot of recognition. I mean, we're a pretty small game, and like I feel like there's not a lot of content creators and not a lot of people in the community kind of like hyping people up or like talking about the players. Like I feel like that's just not a kind of video that gets made about Weiss Schwarz very often. It's usually most like about the sets or like the collectible aspect of Weiss Schwarz. But there are a lot of really good, really talented players over the course of the years, and I feel like it would be cool to just kind of shout out some names and bring some more recognition to the kinds of people and talent we have in our community. And so it doesn't have to be somebody who is like a competitive player, but it would be cool to kind of shout out competitive players that you really like their play or like their like records or whatever. So yeah, I guess I want to go last because I want to give you guys the most options. So
I have an answer.
You have one?
already,
Okay, go for it.
All right, so my favorite player 2025 is gonna be Daikoku-san again, and so we've already mentioned him earlier. Like I had some adventures with him in Japan, but after we came back, he went and topped a WGP with Mushoku Tensei, and that was very exciting to see in the year 2025. And it's very cool to see him succeeding on a deck that really not a lot of people really take seriously nowadays. And even like amongst our own friend group, he's like inspiring like a couple of my friends to like pull their Mushoku Tensei decks back out. And so like Andrew, if Andrew watches it, Andrew took Mushoku Tensei to Pasadena, and I think also another BCS somewhere this season. And he went like 5-2 twice, I think. So like, MTI is still out here doing pretty well, and kind of we're more or less just like riding the coattails of Daikoku to play that deck still. So that's kind of my shout out.
Look at him, so inspirational.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, do you have a player?
He's putting in work.
All right, I'm gonna go with the one that probably just by pedigree. I wonder if that's the right word. By the results.
By their competitive history.
The most accomplished player of probably the last several years in Weiss. It's got to be our boy Panda. With not even just talking about Weiss in general, but let's talk about how the fact that he's qualified for Worlds in basically every single Bushiroad game now. First with Vanguard, then with Shadowverse, and this year we finally have our boy qualify for Worlds with Weiss, with Licorice Recoil. But also just one of the hardest grinders, traveling to multiple regionals events, but not forgetting to have fun. Yesterday he played Attack on Titan. A lot of times he goes to locals, he just plays something chill, something, more on the more casual side, but then he takes the game seriously. He has a lot of interesting thoughts and perspectives about deck building and play and stuff, and I feel like he's really matured into this extremely strong competitive player that has, like, every time they go to regionals, I always expect him to at least make top cut. So he gets my stamp of approval as the favorite player of 2025 competitively. And then I also just want to shout out all the boys at, all the locals everywhere. Even if you don't play the game competitively, Weiss is not just about competitive play. Being able to hang out with everyone, play the sets you like, hang out with the community, that's what it's all about. So I don't go to locals that much anymore, but yesterday I went to our locals, and it was always nice seeing all the old faces again, and just being able to see everyone have fun and play their old decks, even if they're not updated or something. But like, that's not really the point. Like, I think it's really awesome that Weiss brings us all together for one purpose, and then just being able to reconnect with everyone is super awesome. So Panda as favorite competitive player, and then just everyone that participates in the community, that's going to be my honorary shout out.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I figured one of you guys was going to bring up Panda, and if you guys wouldn't, then I was going to, because definitely that boy has had a pretty astounding track record of late, especially in Weiss Schwarz. He's been featured on our channel for like 4 deck
Four
profiles
times.
at this point. Yeah, it's crazy.
4 times.
That's insane. Yeah. So my favorite player this year, and I'm gonna kind of shout out Bushido a little bit here. If you go to their tournament reports web pages, you can see that it's steadily gotten better. So before it was like pretty hard to find, but now there's like portal pages for every tournament, and you can click on every location to get the top 3 winners of each location. You can see for the top 3 for like every Springfest team, and then click in. But as of Houston, for BCS 25-26, clicking in not only shows you the top 3 players, but actually shows you every single player in every single deck that they played. And so you just have all this data, which is great. It's like, this is honestly like such an amazing resource for competitive players, but also just for casual players to like see what people are playing and just like get a lot of recognition to a lot of different decks and a lot of different players. So I think that's really cool. And if you go ahead and click through all these, you'll notice a name at the top pretty consistently over the course of this past year. And it's going to be Ryoshun, Steven. So that's going to be my favorite player. He not only topped Pasadena, this most recent regional, but he actually he topped a first place in a team's tournament at BSF. So he's actually on track for the Golden Road in terms of winning Spring and winning a regional in like the championship circuit, and then potentially if you win Worlds, that would be like the Golden Road, right? And our boy Panda is actually also on a Golden Road. He won a team's event in Spring. He's won a regional.
With Randall.
Yeah, with Randall. He's won regionals in the fall. And so actually I think they were talking about, kind of like seeing each other as rivals for potentially if one of them wins Worlds, that would be like the greatest achievement and in Weiss Schwarz.
I might have to remember this factoid.
Oh, for sure. We gotta inject some storylines into the game.
If I end up commentating this upcoming Worlds.
Yeah, and I think like this kind of narrative is just like so cool. We have such storied players, and honestly, like Ryoshun, he was the world champion 2 years ago, and like recently, I guess his success is just like speaks for itself. But we have so many of these storied players, and I would like to be able to like shine a light on their stories and stuff like that. But there's a lot, we
acknowledge them for their achievements and their hard work. Right?
Exactly. Moving forward into this next segment, I think it'd be kind of cool to share a little bit about our years or like our past year and just like in a more of like our everyday life stuff, because a year is a long time, especially living in America. This past year has been a very long time and a very tumultuous time, and so it'd be cool to just like kind of reflect and kind of share some of our life experiences. And so I have a bunch of questions here, and I figured instead of just going around and asking like the questions one by one, we can just kind of share any of them that like that we
pop
feel
out.
like that pop out, feel like answering. So I think I'm gonna start with favorite restaurant or meal, and I'm gonna, unfortunately this might steal Randall's answer, but I have a funnier story to this. But I think my favorite restaurant or meal of 2025 has been that one tsukemen place in.
No, he took my he took my
answer.
Is this just like our favorite place? But basically, the story goes during the World's trip, we were looking for some place to eat, and Randall was like, "I really want to eat tsukemen." So, go on Google Maps, look up tsukemen places, and there was one right next to the station that had like pretty good reviews. So we walked there, and we went in, and it was legitimately just the best tsukemen I've had like in my life, obviously, because like it's pretty hard to get good Japanese food in America at that price. But we went that one time, and then we went back like towards the end of the trip. And then we went back. Well, but then what happened was, so that's the start of May, and then we came back to America, and then like 2 weeks later, I went back to Japan with my sister to take her on a graduation trip because she graduated this year, and I promised I would take her anywhere. And so we went to Japan, and then we were back in Tokyo, I was like, oh, my sister really likes noodles. Maybe we should go there because it was pretty good. And we weren't staying like that close, but we made it's like right next to the station. So we went to the station and I took her there and we had it. And she was like, oh, this is really good. And then the next few days, I had some stuff to take care of, so I went like on my own. And I told my sister, yeah, you can go anywhere you want. And if you need anything, just let me know. And then she told me that she went back to that place like 2 more times. So I think
it's just so good, and the price is so good too. It's like $6.
Yeah, and then like I think recently I was just chatting with her. We were just like talking about this year, and then like she was like, I still think about that Sukemen place. She was like, I just want to go back to Japan just to go to that place again. So
Facts.
Truly,
we need to just like collectively like get together and like develop a Sukemen recipe that we can just all like enjoy here or something.
Yeah, we need to get chefs to go to that restaurant, taste it, and then figure out what's in there.
This will be our like 2026 side quest.
Yeah, someone's got to go to Japan and start working there part time. Got to learn their secret recipe. So I actually just came back from Japan. I went to a little vacation with a friend, and it was a lot of fun. I went skiing for the first time in Nagano, but also I went to that Sukemen place 3 times. The first time I actually didn't get the actual Sukemen. I mistakenly picked something else. It was kind of like a chicken broth thing. It wasn't as good, admittedly. So I was like obviously absolutely devastated that I didn't get my beloved Sukemen. So I went again. So I got it. And then before I left, I went again. And this is the reason why this place is the GOAT. So Randall already talked about how it's really cheap. It's like 1050 yen for either the regular size or the large size. And then if you want an extra large size, which is just like it's way too many noodles, it's way too much for one person. You pay like an extra 100 yen or something, or 150 yen. But basically that amounts to around $6 with current conversion rates. So I went in one pleasant afternoon before I had to leave for the airport. And I paid for my ticket outside. It's one of those ticket vending machines, and I pressed the button and I double checked I got the correct thing this time. And I tapped my card, and then I ate and I left, and it was just an amazing experience as always. And then I checked my balance on my card, and it was like it charged me for like $4. I'm like, what? And then I went back and I realized that they have an afternoon special from like 2 to 5 p.m. and I went at like 4 something, where the Tsukemen is discounted from 1050 yen to 600 yen.
600.
So just the value is infinity. Absolute cinema. Absolute Tsukemen. It's just I can't like this is just going to be a staple. Like even if in the future I stay somewhere else outside of that station in Tokyo, it's gotta be you gotta make a stop. You gotta make a pit stop there. Even if they have other chains, I want to go to that one.
Here, I'll name drop the place. It's called Echigo Tsukemen Ishin. That is the name of the place. It's right off Oimachi Station. So if you are ever in the area, it's literally like a 200-foot walk outside of Oimachi Station.
Yeah, Oimachi Station is really, really goated. Not only because it's outside of like Tokyo proper, like so it's the hotel prices aren't as expensive, but there's a really nice hotel with a onsen that's right outside of the station. Like Simu and I and Randall all stayed there this past Worlds, but also this past trip I also stayed there, and then my friend and I were able to discover again. Some. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I stayed there twice. We stayed there when we first got to Tokyo, and then we went to Nagano, and then when we came back, I stayed there again. But we discovered a lot of like really decent restaurants as well. The ones that like we hadn't gone to before, like us as a group. So like, next time if we ever get a chance, I'll take you guys to some of my new discovered favorites. Okay. They have like this really nice dessert place, pasta place, things like that. So all really nice.
Yeah, I don't think this is a chain. I think it's literally just that one place. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm searching it. And it's not a chain, so
I can believe it.
All right, Randall, is something you
All
want to bring
right.
up? Doesn't have to be
Okay.
food because I know we kind of stole your thunder.
Okay, so so like we have sample questions here in like a doc. So it's like favorite trip. I don't take trips. It was literally just the Japan trip.
Hey, that was
They
pretty fun
they,
though.
they, they already took my favorite restaurant slash meal answer. So let's talk about some other stuff. So favorite non-Weiss event of 2025 and favorite anime slash TV show slash movie. So this is gonna be one answer, and I think Simu already knows where this is going. Yeah. Over the last 6 months, Uma Musume has absolutely taken the world by storm in both the anime department with Cinderella Grey, which is probably going to be anime of the year. I mean, it's like easy number one anime of the season for both of the cores, just by the community as a whole. I would not be surprised to see it get anime of the year. And then also riding on that same wave, the English version of the game came out, and Simu and I have been going pretty ham on that. So, yeah, it's just been not exactly the game that I thought I would be playing a whole bunch of this year, but here we are. Like I remember before the game came out, Simu was like describing the Uma experience as being something because he knows my gaming habits. So like he described it as a game that he felt that I would have a strong affinity towards, and he was definitely correct on that. So
My condolences or congratulations, as someone that went through Uma Musume hell last year.
You can come back, Mike.
No. It's like I was able to hard quit. It's kind of like smoking. I don't want to relapse, you know. So
the thing is, the thing is that like so Mike played on like JP before English came out, and now having a reference point on like what the game is actually like, I still don't actually know what Mike's habits on Uma were like in comparison to like me or Simu's. So
Well, here's the thing. I think wasn't able to enjoy the story just because it took me too long to read. So I was mostly just about the gameplay loop, and the gameplay loop just gets very, very, very grindy. It was my overwhelming love for numbers that killed me. But I have thought about playing the English version just so that I can actually go through and read the story of like all these different horses that I've come to know, like really appreciate. But I know it's a very slippery slope because if I start reading for the story and then I get attached to the characters, I want to build strong characters. Like I want to build I want to build my Taylor strong. I want to build my Ogre Cap strong. Then it's just all over again. So, nah, I don't think I'll go back.
It's okay. You've escaped. Enjoy your freedom.
I have. It constantly tempts me to come back with its sweet lullabies and the Cinderella Grey season 2. I've yet to watch, but I know I'm gonna love it. So.
Yeah, Mike, do you have any other stuff that you'd like to share from the RL section?
It will be moving towards like next year.
Okay.
So
I mean, as a kind of almost a segue, do you have any like favorite anime, TV shows or movies from this past year that you've enjoyed?
Oh yeah, sure. Actually, was that this year? Actually, I need to double check.
Oh, you can look it up.
I don't think it was this year actually, but it does tie into what I want to say next. No. Okay, so my favorite shows this year that definitely aired this year were Blue Box and The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Those two shows I really
Blue Box
liked.
aired this year. That it was or it started last year, but it continued this year.
Right, I'll count it as this year.
Yeah.
But it's something I watched this year.
Yeah,
especially since Netflix has that really weird like I'm not gonna air this for 7 weeks thing. It's like okay, dude.
Yeah, that's weird.
But then the honorable mention I wanted to mention that didn't air this year that I still want to bring up is Girls Band Cry, because it ties into not only my introspective for this year but also next year. Something I got to do this past trip was go to a Toge Toge concert. Toge Toge is the name of the band featured in Girls Band Cry. And they, oh my god, they blew me away. Like, I can't. They were so amazing. Probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was a joint concert with Reza Sulian as well. And Reza Sulian was also obviously very electrifying in their own right. That's kind of they're just known for being a hype man band, with their sound, and Rachel on the vocals and Choo Choo doing Choo Choo rap things. But yeah, the lead singer Rina, she is just so good.
She's
live.
so
And-
good.
Yeah.
And like my friend that I went with, he also went to the Toge Live in LA when they came to LA, and then I asked him, "Oh, how was it? Like comparatively?" And then he's like, "Yeah, no, these girls they felt like a lot more like natural or like not as I guess nervous or something about being in a foreign land or having jet lag or something." But it was a 10 out of 10 performance, so I really liked them. So it ties into me also next year because now I am reinvested back into Girls Might Cry. So I'm really looking forward to exploring the new Weiss set coming out in like 3 weeks time.
For this next year, what upcoming Y sets would you like to see? I guess Mike is
okay.
super excited. So all right, Mike.
My answer has changed from yesterday to today.
Oh, okay.
Because Simu sent us like a preliminary list of like questions we were going to talk about, and I filled it out on my own personal spreadsheet yesterday, and it changed because what sets I would like to see, I said Nikkei Volume 2, and then today,
and it literally got
and
announced
then
yesterday.
and then I went to locals, I was playing casuals, and then Chris was like, "Hey Mike, you ready for Nikkei Volume 2?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, Nikkei Volume 2." I was like, "You real?"
Well,
And then I did a little pop off. But yeah, upcoming wide sets. I love.
that you would want
Nikkei.
to see, right? What sets you would want to see, right?
Yeah. So like, well, it's now just upcoming wide sets that I'm looking forward to. It has evolved from sets I want to see into. It is now a set that is coming. So Nikkei Volume 2. I am hugely entrenched in playing the game. I love the story. I love. It's actually the only gacha game I play anymore. I don't play any other game except Nikkei now. So I'm super excited for that. Both of my favorite characters are likely going to be in this upcoming set, as well as a lot of other people's favorite characters, which overlaps with mine. For the people that play Nikkei, Cinderella, and Little Mermaid, those are probably the two people that like I get asked all the time about, like, hey, do these characters have Weiss cards? I'm like, no, they're not in the game. Oh, they're not in the Weiss game yet, but this time for sure. And if Cinderella has a secret plus, that shit is gonna be like $3,000. And so yeah, when we do this retrospective podcast next year and we talk about most expensive card, it might be either Cinderella secret or God help me if she has a hand sign.
Oh,
okay. Well, looking forward to that next year, I guess. All right, Randall, do you have any upcoming Weiss sets or animes that you would like to see in Weiss?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't watch a lot of anime, so like, I kind of just have to go to my stock answer that I give every year.
Well, it doesn't have to be
But,
anime.
like,
it could be a game. Because they've been doing a lot of game sets recently too.
Okay, but what games do I play that aren't
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
that could get into?
I'm gonna guess what Randall's thinking.
Oh,
Mushoku
what
Tensei
the?
2.
Okay.
It's literally always Mushoku Tensei 2.
Okay.
It's always Mushoku Tensei. I keep saying every year they make more Mushoku Tensei anime, and we still don't even have the second half of season 1. So like what are we doing here? Like, we literally have this entire second season, two halves of season 2 that we could make new cards for. The entire, like, the school arc and like the finding Rudy's mom arc and things like that. Like, there is so much that we could be making into cards here.
They're just gonna make more slime sets.
And yeah, dude, literally like we're out here making like a 5-core slime season 4 or like whatever it is, and like what are we doing?
Or I was like, how do we next adapt Overlord? We cover the light novel. We premium booster, extra booster, regular booster, regular booster. How else can we juice Albedo? Can we like juice Rudy?
Yeah, can we like finally have like Sylphia not be a joke, please? Like, even like, man,
that'll
like,
be forever the meme until it actually gets realized.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would be pretty down to play with like some decks with like the new characters like Fitz and like the princess and things like that. Like, be pretty down.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wonder, was there like another set that they also just like didn't do any updates for, and then they all of a sudden jumped to like recent stuff? I feel like that happened.
AOT. AOT.
Oh, AOT is one. Yeah, that's true. They did that.
They completely skipped season 3 for AOT.
I feel like ReZero they also jumped pretty quick to like the most recent stuff in like the newest set.
I don't think so.
No, the newest set is all season 2 stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the Witch's Tea Party.
Right.
Yeah, no,
And
but
then
they skipped
this upcoming set is going to be covering season 3.
No, but I'm saying like they skipped the whole because like the Witch's Tea Party is actually like it skips like a big part of the like what was it called the one arc where they were in like the Beast territory, right?
I'm gonna be real. Like, I haven't watched ReZero in a really long time, and I'm not caught up with any of the new stuff. I just like kind of like lost interest in the show. But like, so I remember like bits and pieces.
But it's not as if they've not juiced ReZero, because they covered the Frozen Bond movie. They covered the Memory Snow OVA. They made 2 sets for season 1. So.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was misremembering, but.
You know what they might do in terms when we're talking about skipping seasons or skipping content. So we know Kaguya is skipping content and animating, skipping a bit of manga content to skip to the next major kind of like thing. What if they just make a new Kaguya set covering that, the relationship arc?
Oh, Seema's broke. Seema goes broke.
They didn't even do a set for like a season 3 set. So.
Yeah, so they're going to skip that, and then they're going to make a new set.
Okay, maybe. All right. I think for me, I think sets that. So I have 2 answers for. I have answer for a set I want to see in English that is already in JP, and then I have an answer for like a set I want to see in JP. So for English, I would really like to see Uma in 2026, considering just how big it's gotten in the West with the release of like the game globally, and also just how popular the anime is. I feel like it would be a really good set for them to bring over, and then specifically also for like gameplay. The Uma set is just really fun to play. Uma is definitely one of those decks where every once in a while I'll just go back to it because it's just so much fun. I think it has a lot of like really cool utility cards and options, and yeah, it's like a really fun set to like build and play, and I would really like to see that in English. I think I would have a lot of fun in that. So hopefully,
it's the only set with the inheritance mechanic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah,
because it also just ties into like horse inheritance.
Yeah, to this day, I still think inheritance is probably the strongest keyword in Weiss Schwarz. It is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely really good with all the stuff that it enables. And then for JP side,
I just thought of another answer. I'll come back to this.
Okay, yeah. I'm excited for the potential of Freerun Season 2 getting a Weiss set, because Freerun Season 2 is just around the corner in terms of like it's going to be airing. And then they've been pretty quick about adapting sets into Weiss, I feel like, at least on the JP side recently. So I would not be shocked to see a Freerun set in the next calendar year, like maybe towards like the latter half of the year. But that would be really cool, because I believe Season 2 is Golden City. Yeah. Which Golden City is my favorite Freerun arc by far. Like
it's pretty goated.
I love it so much. So very excited to see that.
Okay, so kind of in the vein of sets that we've already seen in Weiss Schwarz, those the most comparable in my opinion being Pre-Kone and Blue Archive, and I think Simo knows where this is going.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think that there is a non-zero possibility that maybe we see Stella Sora, maybe not next year, but maybe like at some point in the future of Weiss Schwarz.
Stella Sora is the Yostar game?
The new Yostar game, yeah.
Okay.
And so Simo and I have both been playing that. And it kind of follows in the same vein, where it's just like it's a fantasy setting with like cute girls, and you collect and play the cute girls, and it's picking up attention with like the same crowds that are into mainly Blue Archive. And so this would I know like Azur Lane is like it's published by Yostar, and this one is made by Yostar, so it's not exactly the same thing. But we do have precedents for like Yostar stuff in Weiss Schwarz, and then it also kind of fits the demographic for sets that titles that have already seen sets, not even just one set, because both Prequel and Blue Archive both have 2 sets apiece. So I could definitely see in the future, I could see Stellasaur maybe being included, and I would be pretty down to pick up Stellasaur, I think, if that happened.
Yeah.
Bushiroad has, well, rather, gacha game companies has not strayed away from giving out their licenses to those that want them. So Bushiroad obviously knows how well gacha games do in terms of set sales. So I feel like if they ever have chances to capitalize on popular titles, they certainly would, because they've tried with basically every company out there, already. I think the only one that failed at was really just Hoyo. They tried to get Hoyo, and then they couldn't.
Yeah, well, I think that's more on Hoyo's side, probably.
Right.
Because now we know that they have
gacha companies.
Yeah, we know that Hoyo has like their own card game now for Genshin, at least.
Yeah. But most gacha companies, they're like, hey, let's work something out, and it's not as if they don't have. Pushio doesn't have prior relations with like Yostar, Side Games, etc., etc. So, hey, for your sake, I hope maybe eventually we can conjure up Arknights. I know a lot of people really want Arknights.
Well, Arknights is on
It's in Union Arena.
Union Arena?
Yeah, it's in Union Arena. So there's a chance.
But again,
there's a chance. Yeah.
They don't have to be mutually exclusive because they're not owned by Bandai.
Yeah,
they're just gacha game companies.
We'll get Enfield for sure, right? We'll get Enfield.
Maybe. I mean, like Nikkei was Union Arena first, I believe, and then it came to Weiss. Yeah. So
okay.
I don't want to. I don't want the copium to be too high, so that's why I didn't say anything about Arknights. But it would be really cool to get Arknights. I know Connor would be
if Connor is dead if Arknights
I'd be
comes to Weiss.
ecstatic if Arknights came to Weiss. But I think another game that often flies under the radar in terms of like gacha games that came to Weiss is actually Heavensburn Red, because that is a huge gacha game in JP. Like basically one of the best, like the most popular gacha games in Japan. If you go to like Akihabara, you see Heavensburn Red literally everywhere. They have like promotions all the time, and so seeing that come to Weiss is like pretty good indicator that like whatever is popular in Japan, if you see it on the streets in Akihabara, it has a very good chance of making it into Weiss Schwarz. Just all the big players. All right. Yeah,
Excuse me?
Huh? Wait, what? Huh?
Simu said gacha games that you find on the streets in Akiba. I was like,
moving on.
All right, I guess let's just let's wrap things up in terms of kind of like conclusions, but also just like anything that you're looking forward to in 2026 in terms of just like your plans. I guess we can talk about channel plans as well as just like personal plans for 2026, and we can just kind of wrap things up this way. I guess for me, I can start. So I'm going to Worlds next year. That'll be in May. That's pretty exciting. I'm definitely planning that trip. Haven't bought the tickets yet because I'm actually going to Vancouver first. I'll be judging and playing, and so after that trip, I'll probably lock in my details for Worlds. So that's gonna be really exciting. Haven't figured out what I'm gonna be playing, so that's gonna be fun to.
Oh, it's the fun part.
That's definitely the fun part for sure.
Especially with Eminence looming in the shadows.
I think Eminence is such a wild card because it's releasing so quick to so like so near Worlds that basically it's like a test of like who is daring enough to take a pretty much untested deck into Worlds. So it's like another layer.
It's a very strong advantage for those that are, because they can prey on those that did not do their prep and their homework.
Right. Yeah. So definitely very exciting.
I think we can confidently say that set will be represented at Worlds.
Yeah.
Confidently.
I do think, and I think it will actually be a pretty big divide in the competitive base. Basically, it's like the players who value comfort are going to be picking decks that they have played and tested for like a longer period of time, and then the players who like prioritize or they value like innovation or like what's called like that kind of edge, they think that gives them that edge, will be taking Eminence. Right. Very interesting.
Assuming the card pool is like not god awful.
Yeah, we can assume it's going to be. I mean, let's not assume that it's god awful. Like, assuming there's something there.
Assuming there's something to work with, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
assuming that it has been like an English original in the past 5 years, it will be represented at Worlds. So, yeah. All right. You guys want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I, as of today, I just signed up for media for Worlds, so we'll see if I get
Oh, it's
approved,
out?
But it's been out actually.
Oh, okay.
They just haven't broadcasted it, but like it's on the Worlds
Oh.
page. So I just signed up. Hopefully, I get in. But it would be an honor and a privilege to have the chance to go to Japan again to cover Worlds. This time, obviously, Simu would be there as a player, and then Randall is maybe or maybe not being there as a commentator. But either way, I'd love to go, and any excuse to go to Japan is always a great one. In terms of personals, goals and stuff, I have a lot of personal resolutions for 2026. I think 2026 will be a pretty big year for me. But one that I would like to talk about is I signed up for the LA Marathon. So today I actually just started training for the LA Marathon. It's at the beginning of March, so 2 months is not a lot of time, but something I was pretty proud of in 2025 was I was really active and I was training quite a lot, both like for resistance training and also cardio. So today I ran 5-ish miles and it wasn't too bad. So hopefully I can keep this up and I'll stick to a training regimen and then we'll see what happens come March. So I'm looking forward to that. That's my 2026 thing that's happening.
I'm trying to like think if oh, actually, okay, so this time like this just like kind of came out of nowhere, but like I recently started like picking up guitar again. And so
Nice.
like I
Oh.
like swapped I normally have like an amp in the corner in my room, but like swapped this out for a much better amp. Like the other one was like kind of booty butt cheeks, but this one's been pretty nice, and so I've been kind of getting back into guitar a little bit, kind of building up the calluses and things like that, and just trying to get back into figuring stuff out, trying some new stuff. Definitely not trying to do anything like super complicated, but just kind of trying to do more than just like the average like anime watcher that knows how to play guitar. They just like know how to play like three Annie songs or whatever, but like I'm gonna try to be more like fundamentally active and really just kind of like build a foundational skill set for guitar more than I had before anyways. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently outside of card games, I would say. Outside
Are
of like
you
outside of the stuff that we've like talked about so far anyways.
So are you like practicing on certain songs, or are there like certain songs you want like that inspire you to pick up the guitar again, or how are you like practicing?
It was it's more of just like from a technique perspective. Like there were like certain guitar techniques that I always felt like I was never very good at, and so that kind of just like gatekeeps me from learning. Like if there is like a more complicated song that I would want to learn, then like kind of just like gatekeeps me from even attempting it. So like I don't know. I know Mike definitely does not play guitar. I don't know how much Simu knows about guitar techniques, but things like sweep picking for guitar. So I don't know if you guys know what that is. Or
Not really.
it's like sweep picking, economy pick. If those of you who are watching this that like know guitar stuff will like know what I'm talking about. But things like yeah, just like having like faster left hand movement. Sweep picking. I've also been trying to learn hybrid picking, so I can explain to you guys what those are off screen if you guys care. But like, yeah, those like I've just been trying to just like expand the overall skill set, just so that it will open up the ability to like play more things in the future. But I'm not trying to learn like a particular song for those. It's just like, yeah, I just want to kind of get
Just
better at.
just increasing the strength of your foundation, more techniques, so that in the future, if you did want to play more songs, you can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just getting overall more proficient. Yeah, that's super cool. I've always wanted to stick with an instrument, but I could not.
I mean, we like in the past. I think we said like when you were trying out and by trying out, I mean just like messing around on my guitar. That you were saying that you would be more of like a drums person, right?
I am still thinking that one day we'll form our own Kesoku band. And
That's
then...
the
My keyboard's right
yeah,
there.
Simu's our
my
keyboardist.
keyboard's right there. So
Yep.
I got my imaginary drums.
one day.
I've always been more of like a like I like rhythm games, you know. So like I feel like the drums would naturally, I just like listening to the rhythm of things. But at the same time, I feel like it's really difficult for me to have hand-feet coordination with like the stuff you have to do with like the foot pedals and stuff. So it's probably just a lot harder than I envisioned it. But it would be the thing that would interest me the most if I ever would try to pick up an instrument again, because I like the beat, I like the rhythms.
Yeah, it's cool. No, it's great that who knows, maybe this will come into play next year.
Yeah, I mean, life is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Exciting. All right. Well, I guess that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this podcast. And it's always great to look back and see what we were up to and have an idea for next year. And honestly, this past year has been really, really packed and really exciting. And I don't know, I feel like towards the end of the year, I was getting a little burnt out with like school and work and like a lot of traveling and like events and stuff like that. But just even doing prep for this podcast and just kind of looking back and just remembering all these things, it's got me a lot more excited for next year. I'm actually a lot more optimistic and looking forward to next year being a good year, and looking forward to doing content with you guys for this upcoming year. And we'll see what happens.
Likewise. Let us know what you think. If you guys want to just chime in on anything or ask us for questions, we can answer them in the comments. But until next time, this has been Mike, Randall, and our host, Simu, who put together this whole thing for us. Here's to happy 2026, and we'll see you guys in the new year. Bye.
Bye. Bye.